Hi everyone, welcome back. Today is the day. We are decluttering my makeup collection again, and today we are tackling my blushes. I have been dreading this category, but I actually did pretty well. I decluttered more than half of my blushes, and I'm actually shocked that I decluttered as many as I did. But I feel so much better and I'm so glad that I did it. I really honestly enjoyed stripping everything down and just keeping the stuff that I felt 100% confident in. So that's what I did. I got rid of a lot of blushes. I got rid of things that I like. I got rid of a lot of blushes that the shades just don't work great for me, or there's nothing about them that really stand out in my collection. And I just don't feel like I need to hang on to things like that. So we got rid of quite a bit. I'm guessing probably about 60% of my blushes. I think you're going to be surprised by the end of the video. I did actually fit all of my blushes in the same drawer now with my bronzer and my powder and my highlighter. If that gives you any indication, we really narrowed this down. So I swatched as many things as I could, and anything, like I've said in the past, that can be, given to someone or resold, I will do that. I will definitely be reselling some of these on my Mercari. Things that I bought that just didn't work for me or I don't feel the need to keep, I'll probably resell, because a lot of these things, they're pretty new. There's nothing wrong with them. So that's kind of my plan for the products that I'm getting rid of. And there's a few that are just really old that obviously I'll just have to toss. But I think that's everything for today. I hope you enjoy this. And if you're new, I hope you'll stick around and subscribe. I did already do bronzers, powders, and concealers and foundations as well. So make sure to check out those videos too. And let's just get started. It's time for the blush declutter. Let's get started. We're gonna start with my creams first. I just grabbed a bunch of them and we'll just see how this goes. I really want to pare these down quite a bit. Now, obviously I have a ton of blush. I've been avoiding this category because this is probably going to be the hardest one. But if I'm not going to use it, and I know it's not a color I'm going to use, it's got to go. It's got to be something that I know I really want. Like, I really want to keep it. I'm talking myself into this right now. So let's get started. You're probably going to see me get rid of some things that I do like. You're probably going to see me declutter some things in formulas that I love, but like I said, if it's not a shade that I know that I really like and I will pull it out and use it, it's gonna go. Let's get into it. We'll start with what I think is gonna be relatively easy. So I obviously have 5 of the Road blushes. I have Sleepy Girl, Toasted Teddy, Piggy, Tan Lines, and Freckle. Is that right? Yes. So I have 5 of them. I'm going to swatch as many things as I can in this video. I'm not going to swatch every single thing because if I do, we'll never leave. This will go on. It'll take me 24 hours to film this video. But that's Tan Lines. That's Piggy. I love this blush formula, actually. I didn't really think this was going to be one that I would just really love, but I actually do. These are very creamy. Very pigmented as well. You would think for Road their stuff would be more on the sheer side, but they're actually not. They're pretty pigmented. So here are the shades that I have. I hope you can see this. I'm going to try to angle this camera so that you can see, but also keep in mind it's hard. I can't see the screen of the camera with it overhead like this, so I can't really tell if you can see what I'm swatching. So if you can't in some of the clips, I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep it close in frame, but it's hard because I can't see. Anyways, so we have Tan Lines, Piggy, Freckle, Toasted Teddy, and Sleepy Girl. Okay, I love this formula. Like I said, there's one that I'm considering decluttering, and if y'all know me, you probably know just based on the swatches which one. And it's Freckle, this kind of peachy shade right here. This is the type of shade that I don't typically go for, which is a really peachy, almost orangey kind of shade. It has to be like a peachy pink, like that new Patrick Ta blush in Soft Launch for me to like it. And that one, like, I just know myself and I'm not gonna use that one. So I think Freckle can go, but the rest of these I really like. My two favorites are definitely Sleepy Girl and Tan Lines. They're kind of similar. Tan Lines is a little bit warmer. Sleepy Girl is a little bit cooler. Toasted Teddy is like a terracotta. I really only like this in the summertime, but it's a unique shade in my collection that I do like. And then I also have Piggy, which is like a bubblegum pink. I like that kind of shade sometimes as well. So I'm gonna keep the other four, but we're gonna declutter Freckle. Another blush that I have is this one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is a pretty new one. What's the name on here? Oh, the Unreal Blush Healthy Glow Stick. Now this product, okay, this is extremely glowy. Like extremely glowy. This shade, I'm not 100% sold on. It's kind of like a pinky lavender, almost like a magenta pink. And like I said, it's very, very dewy and glowy. It's much glowier than like the Rhode blushes are. So this formula I do actually like, but ever since I got this, I have not wanted to reach for it, and it's the shade. This shade is just not really something that I use too often. I should have gotten a different shade is the moral of the story. So I think that one is gonna go. I don't dislike the formula though, it's not a shade that I'm gonna use. Then I have a blush from Versed. This is their blush stick in the shade Bloom. Okay, this I really love. In fact, I'm glad that I pulled this out, or I'm bringing this out in this declutter, because this is actually very good. It's a very similar formula to the Merit blushes. So it's more like a creamy, balmy, sheer formula. It's not incredibly sheer, like it has some pigment, but not as pigmented as these two formulas. But this is actually very nice, pretty affordable too. I like this. That I will hang on to. Then I have three from Haus Labs. These are the Glassy, the Color Fuse Glassy Blush Balms. So I have three of these, and I'm gonna keep all of these. I've loved these since they came out. So I've got Glassy Hibiscus. We've got Glassy Pomelo, which is more of a peachy pink. So this shade, that's an example of like a peachy pink. It has a little bit of peach, but a little bit of pink. It's not as orange as Freckle right there. And then this one, oh, this is so pretty. This is Glassy Cayenne. This is one of the newer shades, and it doesn't look like it would be that pretty, but it is. I love all three of these. They're all very unique. This formula is very, very glossy and glassy, as it's in the name. Honestly, kind of similar to this Charlotte one, and I definitely prefer the Haus Labs. So these three are going to stay. Okay, then I have three from Persona. Now, this is a formula that I do like. I would actually kind of equate it to the Rhode blushes. This is my favorite shade, but I'm pretty sure this one has been discontinued. This is Bloom. This was in collaboration with a creator, Sarah Vendal, I think is her name. That might be wrong, I don't know. Then I have Carmel. Oh, I also love Carmel. This one is like a mauvier pink. Bloom is more of a peachy pink. I do like Carmel. And then this is Teddy. So this is their newest packaging. They rebranded recently, and now they look like this. I think they sent this one to me actually. This I'm gonna declutter. This is Teddy again. See how orangey Teddy is? On my skin tone, it just pulls very warm and orange, which is not my favorite. So that one I am definitely going to declutter. I kind of want to hang on to these, but I'm honestly torn because this is not a formula I reach for that often. Not because they're bad, but I don't know. I don't find myself going in my drawer and wanting to use these. So I think, you know what? I think they're gonna go. I promised myself that I was gonna be truthful to myself and what I actually use, so those are gonna go. And then we have the Westman blushes. I have 5 of these. Honestly, I don't use my Westman blushes that much either. I use the contours from Westman much more. This is Petal, which is my favorite. This is like a rosy mauve. That one is definitely my favorite of all the ones that I own. Then I have Chochette, which looks like this. That one is a little bit peachy, not quite as peachy as Freckle and Teddy though. Okay, then I have Poppette, which I never ever use. It's like this really bright, vibrant pink. Honestly, it is kind of pretty if you use just a small amount of it, at least on my skin tone. And then we have Dodo or Doo Doo. I think it's Doo Doo, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm running out of room here. That one's more of a rosy pink. And then I also have Mimi. This one is very, very nude, but it doesn't pull as orangey as like Teddy does. So Mimi, I will definitely keep. These three I'm kind of undecided about because I don't reach for these three. So I'm trying to decide if I really need them or not. Like Chochette is pretty, but I'm comparing everything right now to that Patrick Ta blush in Soft Launch, and that one is just like the perfect peachy pink for my skin tone. So I'm honestly thinking of decluttering Chochette. Then what is this one? Poppette. Okay, so this is the bright pink. So it's not like a purpley pink, it's like a true vibrant, like hot pink. I feel like that could go. I just don't think I'm gonna use it. And then Dodo is this one. I'm gonna declutter. So I'm keeping 2 and I'm decluttering the other 3. Okay, moving into some more creams here. Let's start with these from Dibs. Actually, or no, I decluttered that already. I had 3 of these. One of these was in my everyday makeup drawer last month. I just don't love the shades in this range. The bronzers pull really warm on me. I don't know. I feel like I always hang on to these thinking I'm just gonna start loving them, and I don't. I think the formula is good, but I don't think it's anything, you know, out of the ordinary, special, like I just need to keep them. So I'm gonna finally let those go. I always hang on to them, and I'm just not gonna do that anymore. Then I have this one from Nude Sticks. This is the shade Sun-Kissed. This is a really pretty blush shade. Yeah, so it looks like that. It's definitely like a warmer terracotta color. It's a very matte blush. This is the matte formula from Nude Sticks. I like this. I would really only use it in the summertime, probably as like a bronzer, but I couldn't tell you the last time I used this, and I don't think I'm going to. So I'm gonna let that go. Then I have 2 from Victoria Beckham Beauty. Now I love this formula. I have 2 shades, and I definitely have one favorite. It's this one. If you've been here for a while, you've heard me talk about this one. This is Fame. It's a really beautiful wine, kind of like a berry color, but these are absolutely beautiful. I love this kind of tone in the fall time especially, so absolutely keeping Fame. I also have this one, and I know that this is a favorite for a lot of people, but this shade is not my favorite. This is Playground, and again, it's a really nice nude, but it has a little bit of that oranginess to it that I don't love. On my skin tone, I just don't think it looks great on me. I just don't love the tone. It pains me to declutter a Victoria Beckham blush because I love these, but I know myself and I'm not going to use that color. This was not a good purchase on my part. So I think I will declutter that, even though that is painful. These are the new Makeup by Mario jelly jars. I did a whole video applying these that you might have seen, so I'm not going to go super in depth about them, but I actually love these. Definitely not going to be for everybody. They are very dewy, very glossy, very sheer, and they do have a really strong fruity smell, but I do like them, and I like them on my lips as well. I think they're a really fun product, so I am going to hang on to those, and I also like all 3 shades that I got. So those are going to stay. All right, then I have this from Glow Recipe. This is the Watermelon Glow Dewy Flush. It's supposed to be kind of like a skincare product, more so than a blush. And it's really pretty. I actually like this formula. It's very, very sheer. It's like a tint, honestly. But I don't love this shade. This is what shade is this? Watermelon Flush. It's okay. It's like a warmer coral. and I don't reach for it. I actually would like to try this in one of the newer shades. Now they have like a red and a mauve color, and I think another pink too. So it's mainly a shade thing. I'm just not, I don't reach for it, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. Then I have the YSL Make Me Blush Liquid Blush in the shade 44. This is really pretty. I actually like this formula. I don't pull this one out a ton. Honestly, I don't pull out my liquid blushes that often. I'm much more of a cream blush person, but I do like this color. But am I going to use it? That is the question. I'm gonna put that to the side for now. I have this Chantecaille Cheek Jolie in, I think this is Happy. Where is the color? Yeah, Happy. It's like almost like a bubblegum pink. Very, very glowy. I mean, it's pretty, but I don't think I'm gonna use it. I don't. If the color were different, maybe. It's kind of like a baby doll pink. It's very, very luminous, very, very luminous. I also know myself, and if it's a squeeze tube like this, I never reach for that kind of formula. I have this one from Jouer. This is a Blush and Bloom stick. I don't even know where this came from, to be honest. I've used it like here and there, and it's nothing special. I do like this color right here. This is more of a pinky peach, like I was talking about, that I like, but again, we kept some others, you know, that I like the formula a little bit more, and then this one is like a rosy, like a brighter rose. I'm not using it. I think that can go. The Makeup Forever Artist Color Crayon in Wherever Walnut. This is pretty new to me. I'm gonna hang on to this. I will say, I feel like this color is kind of off for Wherever Walnut. It's a little bit more reddish to me than the actual artist lip pencil. I actually want to try this as a bronzer on my skin and not use bronzer, just do this and see what I think. So I'm going to do that soon. And then I have a Jones Road lip and cheek stick in the shade Rosy Brown. Okay, not sure where I cut off. My baby was crying, so I had to go. But back with this Jones Road stick. This is the lip and cheek in Rosy Brown. This is pretty. I think mine is messed up because mine like doesn't, oh there it goes. I was about to say when you twist it, it doesn't want to go up and down. I don't know. I don't love this color. It's okay, but not anything that I feel like I just like need to keep, honestly. So I'm going to declutter that, and then I'm just kind of torn about this one. I guess I could put this in the maybe. We haven't done a maybe yet for blush. Yeah, we'll do maybe on the YSL. So far, it looks like I've decluttered more than I'm keeping, which I'm happy about. All right, more creams and liquids here. I think this might be the last of my liquids in this group. But let's start with this from Armani. This is the Luminous Silk Cheek Tint in the shade 50S. I am going to declutter this. This, again, is not, as you can see, it's like a very, very bright, slightly peachy pink, I guess, but it definitely leans more peach. And these, the luminous ones, they blend out to like hardly anything. I never tried the ones that came out first that weren't luminous. I think a lot of people really liked those. So I might try that at some point. I don't know, but I'm going to declutter that. It's not a favorite for me. I have Benetint. I don't reach for this a ton, but I do like to have this in my collection just because it's a classic, and I do love the Benetint color. I think it's really nice, so I will hang on to that. I also have a Say Dew Blush in the shade Sweetie. I want to say this is like a peachy pink too. I don't know. I don't reach for this formula much either. It's okay, but I don't know. I'm being really ruthless here because if I'm not going to use it, I'm not going to keep it. I'm just not. Then I have two from Huda. These are the blush filters. So I have Strawberry Cream and Latte. I like these actually. I don't ever really use these in videos, but I really like them. They're very pigmented, but they're very easy to blend out. I typically do like to apply them from the back of my hand, but the formula is really nice on these. Very thin, but very, like a very creamy texture. And then Latte, I don't have another blush like this. It's, again, like a bronzer kind of color, but for summertime, it's actually really, really pretty. So I am going to hang on to both of those. Then we have a Jones Road Miracle Balm in the shade Chic. Looks like this. This came in like a kit of theirs, I think. If you're not familiar with this formula, it's like a really balmy, like cheek product, I guess. They have a ton of different shades. Some of them are more glowy, some of them have a little bit more pigment, but they're very highly fragranced, like rosemary. I can't tell if it's rosemary or lavender. It smells so good, but this is the shade Chic. I think this was a limited edition shade. I feel like I can let that go. I have the RMS Lip to Cheek in the shade Beloved, which is a red. Mine is like really dried out. Oh my gosh, mine is like really dried out. It's like not even working to warm it up with my finger. Okay, well, that's a pretty red. I love a red blush, but it's like not, it's like dried out, I guess. I don't know, it's like none of the pigment is coming off. Okay, that can go. I have a Milk Cooling Water Jelly Tint. Remember when these were extremely popular? I'm not going to use it. I never reach for it. I have 3 of the Rare Beauty blushes. These used to be my absolute favorites. I could not tell you the last time I reached for a Rare Beauty blush. It's so funny. I don't ever see anyone on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok use the Rare Beauty blushes anymore either, which is crazy because these used to be like the thing. Okay, so I have Hope, Bliss, and Encourage. Bliss is the matte formula, Hope, and then Encourage is right there. I definitely don't need all 3 of these. I guess I'm going to keep one of them because I do want to have a Rare Beauty blush formula. I'm definitely going to declutter Bliss, the one in the middle. I don't think I need that. Encourage is more like mauve-y. Hope is a little bit more pink. I think I might keep Encourage and declutter Hope. And then finally I have 3 Merit blushes. Actually, do I have more than this? No, I think I had a few more. I gave them to my mom because she likes Merit. I have Stockholm, which is the bright pink. Ooh, this one is so pretty. This is Bespoke. And then Cheeky. Ooh, Cheeky is so pretty. I'm definitely going to keep Bespoke. I'm thinking of decluttering Stockholm. This like baby doll pink. I just don't know how much I'm going to use that. I haven't reached for that shade in a long time. And then Cheeky has always been my favorite. This is one of the original colors. I'm going to keep Cheeky. Okay, getting into some powders now. I think there is just one cream in this group. So we'll start with this one. This is the Rare Beauty Melting Blush in Nearly Neutral. I actually really like this one. I actually like this, I want to say more than the original one that everybody loves. This one is super creamy. It's a little bit more on the matte side. And Nearly Neutral is such a beautiful, like warm pink. But do I like need it? I think I'm gonna let that go. If I don't know that I would know that it's gone, I just feel like I just don't have to keep it. This MAC Blush Please, or it's the Glow Play Blush in Blush Please. Okay, I really like this formula and I really like this color. It's extremely subtle. It's like a nude, but it's like a slight rose nude. Not too peachy. I guess it maybe has a little bit of peach in there. I do like this one though, so I'm gonna hang on to that one. And now we're into some powders. Okay, here is a Bare Minerals blush. So this is one of the loose blushes. Do they even make these anymore? I don't know. Every time I go in Ulta now and I look at the Bare Minerals display, usually all the loose blushes, like there's a place for them, but it's empty. That's a hint. Really beautiful. These are really hard to apply, I will say, because as you can see, you don't need very much. Like I would never go through this. And you kind of have to just build them up on a brush and then apply it that way, but they are very hard to apply. But part of me wants to keep this for like nostalgia purposes. I struggle so hard with Bare Minerals. I'm gonna put that in the maybes. I just don't know, I struggle so much to get rid of their stuff. I also have the bronzer in Kiss of Pink. So this is from a long time ago. They re-released these, but the packaging is different now. But oh, that one is so good. I loved this color. I'm gonna hang on to that one. I probably shouldn't because it's old, but I'm gonna hang on to it. Okay, then we have a few more from MAC. We have Warm Soul, which I actually had this in my everyday makeup not long ago, and I really enjoyed it. It's very, very subtle. Definitely leans a little bit peachy, I would say. It's like a warm, nudie peach, but it's very fair. This would be a good bronzer shade, honestly. I'm gonna keep Warm Soul. Then I have this Extra Dimension blush in Into the Pink. I'm gonna declutter this. I'm not even gonna swatch it because I'm probably gonna resell this because it's barely used. This bright pink, this was like a thing for a while. It's very glowy. It's more like a pink highlighter. And I'm not gonna use it, so I'm gonna go ahead and let that go. I have two of the Dior blushes. They're both the Backstage line. Of course, these have been reformulated so many times. This was one of the previous reformulations in Rosewood. Gosh, nothing really came off. Came off on my finger, but not so much in the swatch. Since this is no more, they don't even look like this anymore, I'm gonna declutter that one. This is one of the current ones in Toffee, and it is very glowy. This is another one that does sometimes, I think, lean a little bit orangey on me. This one has quite a bit of like a golden shift to it. It's also very, very fragranced. I'm actually gonna declutter that. I can't believe I'm decluttering that, but I am. I told you, I'm being brutal here. Then I actually have two from Say. One of them is in my everyday makeup this month, and I'm gonna keep this one. This is the shade Mia. Like this, I love everything about this. The shade, the formula. Mia is a really pretty warm pink. I actually think these are a beautiful blush formula. Only downside is the packaging is very thin, or not thin, it's very flimsy and cheap feeling. But the product itself is very good, and that's in the shade Mia. That one I really like, so I'm gonna keep that. I think I'm gonna declutter this one. This is Chow, which is a kind of like a burnt terracotta color. Not my color. I'm not sure why I bought that, to be honest. That is gonna go. I have a NYX Buttermelt blush in Butter Together. This is a very nice blush formula at the drugstore. Very, very nice, very creamy. Unless they've changed it though, I'm not a huge fan of the shade range on this blush. This is really the only one I think that works for my skin tone, and it's very, very pink, like a baby doll pink. I'm gonna declutter. This is good though. It's mainly a shade thing. This formula is beautiful from NYX, but I feel like there's not a great shade for me. And then one final blush. This is the Chanel powder blush in the shade Rose Bronze. Okay, I'm not really a Chanel blush expert. I bought this a while ago, and it's a pretty color. It's like, this one's kind of like Orgasm from NARS. This is very similar to that. I don't ever use this blush, and I really don't know why. I'm gonna put that in the maybes. I feel like I want to use that on my face and kind of reevaluate, so I'm gonna put that in the maybes for now. Now we're getting into the formulas that I have a lot of. And I think we're getting into ones that are going to be harder. I feel like I was pretty decisive in the first part of this, but I think it's about to get difficult. Okay, so the YSL blushes, I have 4 of them. I mean, look at these blushes. They're so pretty. They are so pretty. I don't think I'm going to declutter any of these. I have number 44, which is the shimmery one, or it's a satin is what they call it. But this is like their iconic nude Lavalier. It's beautiful. I also have 87 in pink voltage, which this is actually so pretty. I actually had this in my everyday makeup last month and I loved it. Bright pink, but very pretty. It's like just a really subtle pop of pink on your, like the apples of your cheeks. Really pretty. I could probably declutter one of these because these are very similar. So we have number 23 in, it's mauve something. I can't think of the name. And then this is Rose Haze, which Rose Haze is there. Rose Haze pulls more peachy, which is interesting because they call it a rose. And then mauve is right there. The mauve one is definitely staying. I'm kind of debating. I could probably declutter that one. The packaging on those makes me want to keep them. No, I'm going to keep Rose Haze. I'm not parting with those. Now we have the RMS Beauty blushes as well. All right, I have Hanky Panky in this one. This one I never use. I do really like this formula. I'm gonna actually declutter that one. I love the tone. It's kind of like a berry color, but the times I've used this, I did find this color a little bit patchy. I don't know if it's this specific, I think it is this specific shade because I don't typically have that issue with these blushes. But this color, I don't know. I didn't love the application when I did use it. So I'm going to declutter that. I also have French Rosé, which is like a light, warmer pink. Very pretty. Honestly, pretty similar to that NYX blush. This is my favorite and probably one of their most well-known, which is Crystal Slipper. Literally the perfect nude blush with glow in it. It's not too peachy, not too pink, not too brown. That one is perfection. And then I have Cur Royale, which is a little bit of a darker pink. I'm running out of room here. I can't really show you. French Rosé is that one, or is it Rosé or Rosette? Rosé. The bright pink, and then that one is like a mauve rose. This one is more of a true pink. I feel like I don't need both of these. My gut is saying keep Cur Royale, declutter French Rosé. Of the 2 colors, I know I'm gonna pick that one. So I think I'm gonna get rid of those 2 and keep 2. And then the Kosas blushes, okay, I love this formula. I think I'm keeping all 3 of these. So we have Dreamland, which is like a bronzy nude. Euphoria, that one's probably my favorite. And then this is Blissed, which is like a peachy pink. I love all 3 of these. I love this formula. And I like all 3 tones that I have. I'm not gonna swatch them all because, like I said, I'm swatching way too many already. But yeah, these are lovely blushes. I'm definitely gonna keep those. Oh, these are gonna be tough. All right, I have this Nude Sticks Stacks. So I wanna say these are discontinued. This is like an eye topper and then 2 blush shades. I actually don't remember this product at all. For that reason, I'm not gonna keep it. If it doesn't stand out to me, then I definitely don't need to keep it. All right, my Hourglass blushes. I have Sublime Blush, not going anywhere. This is one of my favorite blushes in my whole collection. Honestly, this color is just perfect. It is a perfect mix of pink and like lavender and coral all in one. If you're like a light, fair, light medium, even medium skin tone, that color is perfect. All right, then I have Mood Exposure, which is more like a rosy mauve, a little bit more cool toned than, Sublime Blush. And then I have Diffused Heat, which is like a brighter pink. Honestly, I never used Diffused Heat. I think I could let that go. I am gonna keep Mood Exposure though, from Hourglass. Okay, And then we have Mario. Y'all know I have so many Mario products. I'm like a Mario hoarder, honestly, because I love almost all of his products. I love these blush veils, but I definitely love a few of them more than the others. This one, of course, staying in Barely Blushing. Such a beautiful, like barely there, rosy nude, goes with everything. That's an easy keep. I have this one in Just Peachy. Never use it. I love the formula, like I said, but this tone is just not, that's like an orangey peach. Do you see? Okay, that I'm gonna declutter. Then I have Strawberry Sunset. So this one, this looks so like scary in the pan, but I'm telling you, if you blend this all the way out and just apply a little bit, that shade's very unique. I'm gonna keep that one. And then I have Pinch Me Pink, which is a warmer pink. Pinch Me Pink. Yeah, and then I also have Perfect Pink, which is in my everyday makeup this month. I feel like I don't need both of those. Honestly, I think I like Perfect Pink better. I don't know why. This is like an interesting undertone. It's more of a blue pink, but I kind of like it. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep that one and declutter Pinch Me Pink. And my fingers are literally covered. Okay, and then I have two of his powder blushes. I have Poppy Pink, which I bought, I don't remember, somebody I used to watch used to use this blush all the time, and I know that's why I bought it, but I never use it because it's so bright. I kind of want to hold on to it just for the sake of it, but I'm gonna let it go. And then Mellow Mauve. Honestly, this one is not super mauvey to me. I don't know why it's called that. It's very, very soft though, like very soft. It's like a perfect subtle light pink without being too bright, too cool, too warm. I'm gonna hang on to that one. All right, moving on. These are mostly powders, but we do have a cream, and then these are cream to powder. So I'll start down here with the Tower 28. So I have one of their Beach Please cream blushes in office hours. You know what? I love the colors that Tower 28 makes in their cream blushes, but I don't like this formula. It is kind of sticky feeling, like it's a very thick cream. I don't know if you can tell there, but do you see how thick it looks there? And like that's a beautiful color, but every time I use this formula, it feels like kind of goopy on my skin, and I don't love that. So I'm going to declutter that one. Then I have three of their powder blushes. So I have Samo Spritzer. This one's my favorite of the ones that I have. I have Long Beach Iced Tea, which is more of a nude. And then I have Malibu Cooler, which is like that bright baby doll pink. So we've got that one. This is an ultra matte formula, like matte. Very like crumbly, I've noticed though with this formula. Definitely right away gonna declutter this like bright pink. I know that was a thing for a while. I feel like that trend has kind of died down. I'm kind of torn on these, to be honest. So these are so matte. They're supposed to be like kind of like a setting powder blush. Long Beach Iced Tea is gonna go. I'm trying to decide if I want to hang on to this one. I feel like I can let those go. If I'm gonna choose a matte blush, I don't think that's the one I'm gonna go for. So I'm going to declutter. I also have the new CoverGirl Skin Enhancer. This is Rose Latte. I'm going to keep this. This is like literally brand new. I still am kind of testing this out. So far I'm liking it. So I'm going to hang on to that one. Then I have these from Rare Beauty. Okay, I love this formula. Love. This is probably my favorite one in Grateful. So these are like a cream to powder formula, but they are so like, I don't even know how to describe this. They're like a blurred airbrush finish. Oh my gosh, my cat. Hold on. Y'all, I literally have one cat that he literally always thinks it's time to eat. Always. And if you do not feed him, he will not stop. And he just comes and bangs on the door of my office. Anyways, these are These are just fantastic. This formula, they blend out beautifully. They're like a blurred matte finish. So pretty. So Grateful is definitely staying. Then I have Hope and I have Happy. I like both. I think I probably like Hope the best of the two. Yeah, so Happy I could probably let go of. I mean, I love this formula, so part of me kind of wants to keep all of them, but if I'm being honest, these two are my favorite. So I'm gonna keep those. Now, I have this blush from Sephora. This is just their matte blush in the shade Self-Made. Now, this is, most people would look at this and be like, oh my gosh, that's like the most boring blush shade in the entire universe, but this color is so good. It's not really nude. It's more of like a muted pinky mauve that's not like intensely pigmented. And yes, it is quite boring to a lot of people, I guess, but I'm here for a boring blush shade. In fact, I kind of want to do a video of like my top boring blushes, like boring as in they're not super exciting in terms of the pigment and the color. I don't know. Let me know if you'd want to see that, but I've thought about doing that before. I am going to keep that. Then we have Chai from Laura Mercier. I think this is another one that would qualify as a boring blush. This one is a little different though. It's slightly warmer than that Sephora collection one. Still a good nude though. They are very similar for sure. So then I'm like, Blair, do you really need to keep both of those? But they are different. It may not look like it on the camera, but I swear they are different. I'm gonna keep those. Then I have two of the Gucci blushes. I have Rosy Beige and Radiant Pink, I think. Yeah, I never use these blushes, ever. I've never fallen in love with them. I've had them both for a while. That's Radiant Pink, and this is Rosy Beige. Radiant Pink, I'm gonna declutter. I just never use that bright pink like that. And this formula, I know a lot of people love this one. I don't know why I've never fallen in love with this one. And then Rosy Beige, this is so pretty, but I'm just not sure this is like a color that looks good on me. That one might be in the maybes. I feel kind of undecided on that. I've been dreading this part. All my Patrick Ta blushes, actually there's one more. We'll start with this one because this is the brand new one. This is the new one in soft launch. I'm 1000% keeping this. This is, I'm not gonna say it's absolutely my new favorite, but it might be. It is the perfect light peachy pink for fair or light skin tones. It is perfect. So that one is definitely gonna stay. Now I don't have every single one, but I have most of the shades. I always hold on to all of them because this is my favorite blush formula and I always feel like, well, I need to keep them to compare and all that, and I might want them, and I'm just kind of thinking maybe I just want to keep the ones that I love because I don't love all of his shades for my skin tone. I think all his shades are pretty, but there are some that I like more for myself. This is definitely one I'm keeping. This is She Goes to the Gym. It's like a cooler mauve, I guess. Kind of similar to She's Wanted, which I also have and love, but a little bit less intense. But I love tones like this. One of my favorite shades he makes. So I am definitely gonna keep that. Then, okay, this is She's Wanted, which you would look at this and think, I could not wear that, but I'm telling you, this, especially the cream, I don't use the powder as much of this one, but there's something about the undertone of this cream. It's the most beautiful color if you use just a little bit. This is one of few blushes I've ever tried that I think you could use this on every single skin tone, and it would be pretty. Because of the undertone, it's just so good. So that one will stay. Just Enough. Okay, this is his other shade that is, I would say, doable for really fair skin. This is like almost like a pastel pink, like a cool toned pastel pink. I don't ever use this one. Guys, I think I'm gonna let it go. I kind of want to keep it just for the heck of it, but I'm trying to really narrow this down and just have the stuff that I love because I'm just finding more and more that that's what makes me the happiest Even though I have a YouTube channel, I just want to have stuff that I like. So I am going to declutter that one. Moving on. Oh gosh, okay. She's blushing. So this is a beautiful, like, dusty, rosy nude. It is a little bit deep for my skin tone, but if you are a medium skin tone, I would say even light medium, medium tan, that kind of range, these are pretty. However, there are two lighter nudes that we're going to get to in a minute that work better for my skin tone. So for that reason, I'm going to declutter She's Blushing, but it is a pretty shade if that works for your skin tone. Oh, She's Different. Now this is a really pretty shade. I'm going to declutter it. I think he has discontinued this shade and replaced it with She Goes to the Gym. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I feel like when I went to link this, you could not get it. See, it's very similar to She Goes to the Gym. I think that's what they did. They replaced that shade with, or this shade with that one. Because last time I looked, it's not on Sephora, and I'm not sure if it's on the Patrick Ta website. I do prefer She Goes to the Gym anyways, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. She's Flushed. Okay, this is another one that I do not use. This one works okay for my skin tone, but I don't love the shade at all. The powder is kind of like a burnt coral, and then the blush is a completely different tone. It's almost like a strawberry color. I don't know, that one is definitely not my favorite. I'm gonna declutter. Did you ever think you'd see the day of me decluttering Patrick Ta blushes? Probably not. She's So LA. This is the one I had in my everyday makeup this last month because honestly I was thinking of decluttering this one. You know what I did with this though is I used this all over as like a blush and a bronzer, and it actually works on my skin. Now if I tried to add bronzer with this, I think it would be too warm. That's not going to work for my skin tone. I will say I like the cream more than the powder. The powder pulls much warmer. I'm kind of torn on this one. I said I was going to get rid of it. Then I said I was going to keep it. I think I'm going to declutter. I could make it work, but am I going to use that one realistically? Probably not. So I'm gonna declutter. Okay, here's one of the nudes I was talking about. So this is She's Seductive, and he has two that are, let's see, it must be this one. Yeah, he has Not Too Much and She's Seductive. I love them both. This is one of the ones people ask all the time, like, what's the difference? So Not Too Much is, I would say, slightly more pinky than She's Seductive, but they are definitely similar tones. So this is She's Seductive. I just think She's Not Too Much is a little bit more pink. This one has more of a mauve-y nude tone. They look more similar in the pan than they do in the swatches. They both work great for my skin tone though, and I like both. So these I will be keeping. Then, oh, how could I forget this one? She's That Girl. This is the first Patrick Ta blush I ever tried, and first one I fell in love with. This one is like a bright pink, but it's beautiful. Definitely keeping. Then I have She's Giving. Okay, I don't know why I bought this. I bought this a long time ago. Not great for my skin tone, obviously. I'm not going to swatch it. As you can see, this is not made for me. If you are like tan deep to a deep, deep skin tone and you like a pink, this kind of color will be beautiful on you. But for me, it's not for my skin tone, but it's pretty. And then, okay, another one I'm going to declutter. She's the Moment. So I'm getting all the shades confused. She's the Moment is the peach that came out like 2 years ago. And then he recently released Soft Launch, which is the first one I showed you. See how orangey this one is? Soft Launch works much better for me. This one is much more pigmented than that one. And last but not least, this is the new shade from the holidays. Actually, I thought I have the second one. Oh, I do. It's hiding in the back of the drawer. Okay, I'll get it in a minute. So this is on holiday, kind of similar to She Goes to the Gym and She's Wanted, kind of like a combination of both. Okay, let me get the other one. And then this is the lighter one, which is out of office. So this one is a little bit more like a cool toned pink. These sold out so quick this year when they were in the holiday sets. The blush on the lighter one is definitely very sheer. It feels a little bit different to me than his, or both the creams I should say, feel a little bit different to me than his typical creams. I actually prefer the deeper one of the two. So I think I might declutter out of office. I'm just trying to decide if I want to keep this one or not. I'm assuming these are no more. I think we're going to declutter. Okay, I'm actually going through these much easier than I thought that I was going to. Let's see, we have Georgia in the Persona blush formula. I do like this color. This one is a really nice like peachy pink, but I feel like I can let it go. I do. All right, I have two from Fenty. These are the suede powder blushes. So these are really unique, these formulas. This is like the thinnest feeling blush I've ever seen before. It is incredibly thin. Like it feels like nothing when you swatch it, but you get a good bit of pigment, honestly. So I have Bacon Cakes and Petal Poppin'. Petal Poppin' used to be my favorite shade in the cream formula from Fenty. I don't have that one anymore, but it used to be one of my favorites. This is kind of one of those things where I wish this one was a little bit less pink, a little bit more rosy. I wish this one was a little bit lighter with a little bit more pink in it. It's a little bit too peachy nude. I do like it. I can make it work, but it's not like my ideal nude. I think we're gonna declutter, guys. I'm actually shocked at myself, to be honest. Okay, then we have another boring blush. This is Tarte Exposed. Okay, I love this blush, but this blush, I don't know if you'll see on the camera, you probably can. This blush hard pans so bad. This has got to be the most hard panned product that I've ever owned. Because this blush is actually not very old. Like it's old, but it's not super old. But it like has completely hard panned. And I feel like I've tried to fix this numerous times. I just love the color of this. If you have this blush, can you let me know? Does it do that for you? For that reason, I'm going to put that in the maybes for right now. I have this blush from IT Cosmetics. It's Bye Bye Pores. Honestly, I have no idea where this came from. It's not something that I reach for, so I'm gonna let that go. I have two from Summer Fridays. These are their Blush Butter Balms. These are really good, actually. I have Berry Spritz, which is kind of similar to like She's Wanted from Patrick Ta. That kind of color. These are surprisingly very pigmented. They're very similar, honestly, to the Rhode blushes. Definitely gonna keep this one. This is Toasted Terracotta. That's a good bronzer for me. I do like this one as well. I just don't know. I don't know how many of this tone of blush that I need to keep because I have a lot of this type of color. I think I'm gonna let that one go. I'm gonna keep Toasted Terracotta. And then I have two of the Ilia Soft Focus Blurring Blushes. So I have Glimpse, which is a really, really, really fair, cool toned pink. It's very pretty, actually. And then this is my favorite one. This is Breathless. This is like a perfect neutral. Well, honestly, it leans a little bit peachy, but I feel like this one's not too peachy. Let me swatch Glimpse again. I feel like these two would be pretty mixed together because they're like opposites. This one's warm, this one's cool, this one's light, this one's a little bit deeper. I honestly feel like they would be pretty mixed together. This formula is beautiful. It's kind of, it has a little bit of radiance to it, but it also is a little bit smoothing on the skin. It's really, really unique and pretty. I like those, so I'm gonna hang on to those. Okay, believe it or not, we are almost done. I feel like I've done this more quickly than I thought I was going to. So I have two of the new Milani blushes. Honestly, I'm not sure if I love these. I just got them, so I haven't played around with them enough. But I have Berry Amore and I have Rosé or Sparkling Rosé. Honestly, Sparkling Rosé is my favorite. Berry Amore pulls very warm peachy. I'm not sure why it's called Berry Amore. This one is nice. It's a little bit bright. I wish it was a little bit more muted. But these are brand new. I'm still kind of playing around with them, but I did not love them to start out with, I will say. This is really good. This is the Maybelline Cloudtopia. Kind of a similar formula, honestly, to that Rare Beauty soft, bouncy matte blush. This I really like. I'm very impressed with this. This is in the shade Enchanted Mauve. That I will keep. These two are in my everyday makeup this month, but I'll go through them quickly. This is Charlotte Tilbury, the Lip and Cheek Balm in Pillow Talk. I'm going to keep that for now. It's in my everyday makeup, like I said. And then I have NARS in the shade Behave. Another boring blush color, but really good. I like it. I'm going to keep it. So I have 3 from CL. I actually love this formula. They're SPF 45, and these are nice. They're not matte. Honestly, they're kind of similar to those Ilia blushes. I wouldn't say they're as blurring and smoothing though as the Ilia ones. So in this I have Cozy, which is nice, but it definitely pulls a little bit peachy orangey. This is my favorite. This is Blaze. Definitely keeping Blaze. And then Shy is like a peachy pink. Honestly, I don't love Shy or Cozy. I love the formula. I don't love those colors though. I do love Blaze. So I'm thinking I'm going to keep Blaze and declutter these. I know. I like the formula, but again, if I don't love the color, there's just no point. I'm not going to hold on to stuff. I was actually much more decisive in this video than I thought I was going to be. So I have 4 maybes. I can't believe I only have 4. So what I'm thinking here is, okay, let's see. I'm going to try to work on this Tarte one to see if I can get the hard pan off. And if not, I'm probably going to declutter it because this one just, I love the color, but it does it every single time I try to use it. The Gucci blush in Rosy Beige. I feel like if I'm debating this much, I probably don't need it. This Bare Minerals in Hint, I think I'm going to let that go. And then finally, the Make Me blush from YSL, I'll keep in the maybes and maybe we'll use it in one of the Get Ready With Me's we're going to do once I finish all the declutters. So we'll keep 2 in the maybes and let me count up the number that I'm decluttering because it's a lot. All right, y'all, this is everything I'm getting rid of. I hope you can see everything in the frame. I actually just added some more. So now we are getting rid of 66 instead of 61. So I ended up adding the Bare Minerals bronzer. I like this, but it's super old and it is pretty, but am I gonna realistically reach for that one? Probably not. I also did declutter this Makeup Forever. I was looking at this shade a little more closely and I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of this color. I thought I would love Wherever Walnut. I do like that lip pencil, but something about this, it's not quite pink enough. It pulls kind of orange, too warm, I guess. I don't know. I just don't think I need it. Same goes with Warm Soul from MAC. This one is on the lighter side, but again, that tone, I just don't know if I need to keep that. And then I did add these Huda blushes just because, again, I like this formula, but I know that I like others more. And this is one that I like, but do I feel like I have to have them? No. So we added those. So we're getting rid of 66 and we are now keeping 51. So we decluttered quite a bit. I'm super, super happy with this. This is exactly what I wanted. I just wanted to really narrow down the ones that I just love, love, love. And I love the formula. I love the colors. I don't want to have any iffy ones in my collection. So I'm super happy with this. All right, that is my blush declutter. If you're surprised that I got rid of as many as I did, let me know in the comments because I surprised myself. I was pretty decisive in this one. I was afraid I would be a little indecisive with my blushes, but I don't know. This was much easier than I thought it was going to be. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm so happy with having a smaller blush collection. I'm happy with everything fitting in the drawer with my bronzers and my highlighters and my powders. it just feels so much more manageable. I can see everything that I have. I know the things that I have I like and I want them to be in my collection, and it's just a really good feeling. So I hope, if anything, I hope these videos are enjoyable. Maybe they will inspire you to clean out your makeup collection. Because for me personally, when I have things in my life, whether it's makeup or something else that I don't want, it clouds my mind. Clutter does not work well for me. It's just, it doesn't do it for me. And that's true of makeup and everything else in my life. So hope this is helpful. Hope it inspires you. And thanks for watching. I will still do my eyeshadows and my lip products. So those will be coming in the next few weeks. But thanks for being here. I will probably list my top blushes in the comments or in the description box of this video. That's kind of what I've been doing with these declutters. So check there if you're interested in that. But I think that's everything. I'll see you again very soon. Remember, simply be you.